All right, welcome to Activate Live at Mumbai Tech Week. We have Rajesh Magow, co-founder and Group CEO of MakeMyTrip with us for now. And we'll be talking to him about all things travel and AI and his experiences about building MakeMyTrip from scratch. So Rajesh, MakeMyTrip is a very loved consumer brand. I have been a user directly and indirectly through portals like Smart Buy. But for the people who might be hearing about it for the first time, how would you describe what Make My Trip does today to them, and how can they sort of rely on Make My Trip for the next travel inspirations?
Yeah. So, firstly, thank you. Thank you for having me. Uh, you know, Make My Trip today, the way it has evolved over the years, I think it'll be fair to say that Make My Trip today is the destination for any Indian traveler when he or she is thinking about travel right from the first stage. And then the product portfolio of Make My Trip goes literally covering everything possible that would be needed for the traveler, right? So from any mode of transport bookings to any mode of accommodation booking to, sort of visa assistance, the forex, the insurance, the travel insurance, the planning, the, sort of in-destination activities is the recent one that we launched. So I think it'll be fair to say that from a consumer point of view, one-stop shop that you can come to Make My Trip and look at anything and everything that you want from the moment you start to think about travel. So that I think will be is sort of our positioning to the market as well. And the other interesting aspect of that, in the context of today, and specifically on core technology, because we've often said that MakeMyTrip is a tech company, happens to be in travel, so you have to lead technology from the front, and that has been our endeavor. So in today's context, it's all obviously AI. So what are we doing to leverage AI? Not necessarily on specific use cases, which are plenty, the conversational interface on the front end for the consumer, software development, customer service function. But we are looking at Make My Trip to transform itself into an AI native org, right? And that's a massive mindset change. It is not necessarily, just one of those incremental things to do. It is across the board. If you have to drive and people start thinking about AI, like in every little function, and they start to realize that there is so much of benefit that they can have. It can make them more productive, more efficient, more agile, and that could be potentially the game changer.
Interesting, interesting. When we look at existing consumer tech or consumer products, there are two shifts that these guys have to navigate from our vantage point. One of it is a new wave of consumption. A lot of Gen Z users coming to the internet for the first time, discovering or getting inspiration from video-first content platforms. And then there is an AI native way of either discovery or execution, right? So, what have been your learnings? How's the next gen of India thinking about their travel needs? What is Make My Trip thinking about, and how are you guys thinking about placing your bets to sort of cater to that new form of demand?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great question, by the way. So, when we were looking at our strategy for the next 3-5 years, just 2 years ago, this was exactly the center of the topic that we had from a consumer point of view. It's that how should we start to think about consumer behavior for future, keeping in mind different generations, right? So whether it is Gen Z or millennials or the seniors, we are a platform, and it's a bit of a challenge, by the way. It's not easy, right? We are a platform, we are catering to everyone. So it's not that we are a platform dedicated to Gen Z and dedicated to millennials or dedicated to any particular consumer cohort, which makes the job really hard for you to be able to think about what is going to be your product strategy. So I think the answer lies in, of course, in two ways. One, that of course you can't ignore any of these, and you have to have full, deep knowledge of how the consumer behavior is different, what do they like, what are the needs different Where do they go for inspiration? How do you catch them from an inspiration stage to yourself? How do you, let's say for a repeat use case, how do you actually inspire yourself on the platform, and so on and so forth. So one, deep knowledge about every consumer cohort behavior, buying behavior, thinking behavior, and on the other hand, bring in personalization so deep that you are able to service everybody with the relevant content, right? Because I should be able to catch that person because I will have those signals available. Or if I don't have those signals, I will ask on, let's say, on our Myra conversational interface, for example, it is relatively easier. Or I will pick up surrogate signals, etc., for me to be able to identify the person first and then start to service that request with very relevant high quality content so that that person also gets satisfied, right? I think the higher level of challenge or complexity comes in when you start to think on the design front, that how should the platform look and feel should be, because the Gen Z language of understanding or getting inspiration from just a general look and feel standpoint could be different versus the others, etc. So that is a bigger or a higher level of challenge. But you can still, I mean, it's not impossible to still crack it. So I think you can still strike a balance, right, which sort of appeals to everybody, and just then make sure that you do a good job on servicing the via your product, which is more relevant, which is more suiting to your need and stuff. And I think that's the way we've been approaching. And the good thing is, like I said, it's not necessarily only Gen Z is going to play an important part, but it's not going to be only Gen Z, right? So there's going to be also millennials, and they also, between millennials and Gen Z, also think differently, right? So I think the success of the platform would be to keep understanding every consumer cohort at a scale deeply, and then try to service.
Such great insights. Um, as Make My Trip, do you have any early evidence of, or are you worried about losing some of that top of the funnel intent to conversational chat interface like GPT or Google?
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting question, and a lot of people have been talking about it and all that. If you ask me personally, at some level, I actually see this opportunity. See, if you go back in history, even today, the OTAs in general, they start from a point where a person has already made up his or her mind to do some kind of a booking, right? You come to the platform, you know where you want to go, you give the destination to, from, or whatever, and you get going. I think AI is bringing an opportunity to now play the game top of the funnel, to solve for even discovery, to solve for a even trip planning case. And how do I do it? Because see, one of the problems in the current consumer journey funnels used to be you're not asking too many questions. You're not asking any question actually, because you're saying, make up your mind, come to me and tell me where you, and then from there onwards, I'll make it super convenient, right? But now in conversational interface, I can ask questions, or the background knowledge graph and the artificial intelligence gives you capability, and the capturing of context, intent on the fly, it gives you the ability to consume everything, process everything, and give a relevant answer. So, and if I don't fully understand it, I'll ask another question. So that is an opportunity. So I see this as an opportunity. See, ultimately, from a consumer point of view, let us understand one thing, that travel is not off-the-shelf buying. A lot of the travel is actually very involved purchase, right? Because at the end of the day, you're planning a family trip, you want to be absolutely sure. And you want to not only see the content, which is like a descriptive content, but you also want to see user reviews, right? For example, right? So you want to see and ask and get comfort around many things before you book, right? So, and given the richness of our content that we have and the domain experience But, coming from the fact that we've been doing only this for so many years, I think it makes a difference.
Very cool. Very cool. Just to put you on the spot, the island that all of us were last weekend, did you use Make My Trip to sort of plan your trip?
That's a good question. I'll tell you, and it's a very interesting use case, and we've been talking about it as part of the strategy. So, destination wedding, what part of destination wedding business that we get? And you'll be surprised to know that every time that we've started to look at that as a vertical, and we still sort of, it still remains in the consideration set that, how's that one segment which we are not necessarily catering to holistically, is there an opportunity there? Maybe at some point in time we will see that. But right now, the business for the destination wedding that we are already getting is the travel part. So a lot of the bookings will happen. So if you ask that crowd that how many of you have used MakeMyTrip, and there will be plenty who would say MakeMyTrip or any other OTA for that matter. And also the hotel booking, if you're extending your trip, if the hotel booking is taken care of the, sort of host, then it's a different matter altogether. So we actually do get a lot of the travel, not necessarily for wedding, but the conferences like this. When people travel, so obviously you're coming to attend the conference, but you have to travel, right? So for travel, we give that. So travel part of that business, we actually do get even now. But can we look this as a bigger opportunity in this vertical? The answer is yes.
Perfect. One interesting thing that everyone is talking about, and tallying it back to the first question that you answered, becoming an AI native organization also involves with equipping your employees to use the best of breed of AI tools internally, just so that they are aware of what the tool's capabilities are, which leads to token maxing. And last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of public chatter on Uber and Microsoft sort of rolling back Claude licenses because they're not able to see ROI. So which camp is Make My Trip on? Are you token maxing and seeing ROI, or ROI is missing?
No, I think it's a good question. See, it's an evolving space. So a lot of people are getting excited to use it, and we are also pushing everyone to use it. In our organization, that's why I was saying, AI native, AI first kind of an organization, because there are clear benefits, there are clear productivity gains that you can see. So we are in that camp that there is merit, and therefore we should leverage, and across the board. I think you also got to be prudent, right? Because it's expensive. It's not necessarily cheap. So if there is any wastage or leakage in the system, so I can, thousands of licenses we have, but if the utilization is nothing, then you're wasting money. So which is the same principle that for any investment, that you don't want that investment to go waste. So you got to be, and especially when this is expensive, and if you don't see the ROI. So there are very clear use cases that we are seeing the ROI, and we are taking a longer term view, and there is absolutely no issue on that, but you have to have discipline, right? Now, whether you cap the, token utilization, or you just make it free for all. Obviously, if you make it free for all, it is, because it is so expensive, it's obviously not a very smart strategy to have, right? So I think we are in the camp where we see the utility, we see the power, and we want people to use it, but we definitely want to have discipline around it.
Lovely. Final question. Any parting words of wisdom to aspiring entrepreneurs? 3 things that they should keep in mind as they're building an AI company?
Yeah, no, happy to share learnings, because see, this is also a new evolving space. See, and I've seen quite a few actually AI-led startups, if you will. I think one of the things that I would probably share it with the, anyone who is starting the journey, etc., and specifically getting excited about AI, and at the 30,000 feet level, understanding, the power of AI technology, and I can, pick up one area and then just go out in the market and then sort of win the market. I'm not sure that's going to be a very smart thing to do. Like for example, if one of the first proven use case in the market solved with AI was customer service. Now there are 100 startups perhaps who have said that we build a consumer service solution, we build a consumer service solution. Now that necessarily just on that basis you won't be able to scale that business, right? So it has to be a well thought through strategy to build business. What problem are you trying to solve for? Is the size of the opportunity big? Will you be able to potentially scale? Those fundamentals we should never forget. Never ever get carried away with the wave, like what happened with internet or with mobile, and now with AI. That would be my hook, and it might just well be your hook. But unless you have a complete strategy of what the business is, what are the opportunity size, how am I going to solve for it, how would I potentially scale, what's the competitive dynamics, if you ignore all of that in saying I will just ride this wave and I'll be successful potentially, that may be a mistake, and I'm not sure, or very risky, right? So for you to sort of and you might get lucky, but the chances are that the risk level is going to be super high.
Lovely. With that, we come to the end of the show. Thanks, Rajesh, for
Thank
being
you.
very candid with your advice and inputs to the founders. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you. Thank you.